ever since I can remember the age of 5 or 6, I've been fascinated with the marine world. And yeah, one day an adult a friend of my mum's or something, just said to me, "Oh, you should be a marine scientist," and I'd never heard of the concept before. And then since that point, I was obsessed with it and followed it through all the way through uni. And so I started it just with a passion that came from somewhere at a very young age, just falling in love, I guess, with the environment and given the opportunity to actually go out there and experience it.
How can science guide us into how to best reduce, reuse, recycle?
I think science is a huge part of the education aspect of that. People, I feel, probably want to understand it, understand the problems, and few people like to hear a few facts about what's actually happening, or to visually be able to see what their impact is doing. And I think science is part of that whole baseline of knowledge and education, and with a scientific knowledge we can then provide a good education and start from there. And science is inspiring for many people, especially kids. I think kids love to get their hands dirty with a bit of science, so I think that's a great avenue as well to start influencing the young minds. I think every human has the ability to think beyond our baseline kind of insular surrounds, definitely. It's just, I know it's easy to say I'm someone fortunate enough that can think about conducting my day-to-day life differently, but for some people there's just other things that can, take up that thought, or money even's a big part of it. And I think there's huge scope there. I think if the momentum's starting, I think the movement's growing, that more and more people every day are starting to think differently, and even if they can only do the smallest little thing or just talk about it, it's going to make a huge difference. If we all just sit back and think, oh, it's too much, it's too overwhelming, I mean, what's that? It's not going to achieve anything. So we might as well start somewhere and try.
So what's the role of science in all of this?
Back to, it's easy to say for someone like you or I who, lead the lives we do, but it's reaching people that may never get exposed to it, or may never have the opportunity to go snorkeling on the reef, or how do we reach those people as well?
And I'm just thinking how I would feel if I was invited to participate in some religious ceremony. I think I've got a lot to deal with there personally.
Yes.
My first response is, oh no, that's against everything that I've grown up with. Yeah. And I have to use the word belief. I've got a different set of beliefs. So it seems we're all stuck in some mindset.
Yes, and it's very localised.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's the big challenge.
Yeah.
There's got to be some alleviation at some point, hopefully.
Maybe it'll just happen on lots of personal levels.
Maybe it will, yeah. But at least we can work towards it in, the baseline knowledge with the science, and the, creative with the art, the reach out, the connection that's on a completely different level again. Yeah, I think all combined. I think building a strong case.
I think that you hit the key point early on about the creative experience of as well as the connection. This creative mindset of asking yourself, well, what if I look at it from this angle or that angle? Why is this happening? I don't understand, but hang on a minute, if I go over here and look at it this way, I might see some sense in that.
You don't close yourself into any particular way of thinking. Or,
Yeah. But that can be very scary for a lot of people if it requires them to question the dogmas that myself included have grown up with. My upbringing was very Marxist, communist. You know, my father was a communist. He'd since disbelieved, but during my growing up time, that philosophy had a huge impact on all of us in the family. And you don't realise that until somebody comes along and it's kind of so deep.
Yeah.
You don't quite realise what prejudices or dogmas we're carrying around in ourselves.
Yeah. So what do you do? Just be a positive influence as best you can, and inspire and create and respect. Yes. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Sam.
No, that's fine.
I didn't have any idea I was going to say that. So you've obviously brought something out.
Oh,
needed
good.
to come out for me. Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah. Excellent.
Great.
Cool.